Hey Tubula, my name is NoNoNoah and welcome to Game Grind, the only show on the internet that does the grinding for you. Except for literally every other gaming show, but we're not going to think about those ones because you're here to say, on my opinion, welcome to Season 2 of Game Grind. I'm sorry it took me so goddamn long, but there's a lot of obstacles in my goddamn life, so let's just power through, okay? Season 2 is here, 12 episodes for you, all coming out every Wednesday, I promise. Promise. But for this one, you guys better plug in your best headphones, grab your soothing eye drops, and lean forward with aggression because today we're going to be talking about Doom Eternal, the true winner, in my mind, of Game of the Year. I didn't play Ghost of Tsushima, so this is my pick for Game of the Year 2020. I'm but a man. This is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. Do I have to say that every time? I don't fucking know. But I'm going to say it anyway because it's Season 2, and maybe new people are tuning in. So let's get down into Doom Eternal. Now, this game came out a little bit ago, obviously, so if you don't want the story spoiled for you, I'm going to be talking about that next, so you can go ahead and skip to whatever the hell the time is. It'll be right here, or something, or it'll be in the description. One of the two things will happen. If you don't want to hear about the very minimal story, click ahead now. Alright, it's your fault now. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna have high energy. We're gonna keep going because if we don't have high energy, Doom Guy's gonna come through that fucking door and he's gonna fucking kill me. So please have high energy. We start off our story sometime after the ending of Doom 2016 with Earth being invaded by hell itself. Doom Guy rolls up in his Mercedes-Benz Fortress piloted by the AI Vega to jerk off some demons with their own intestines. How does he start this lovely pleasure fest, you might ask? By hunting down one of the 3 Hell Priests responsible for the invasion and flashing his multipass card while murdering him. The priest just spouts some nonsense about not being able to die due to the spiritual fucking shit, and then Doom Guy just flashes this multipass as he cuts his head off. He then plays a game of show and tell with the other 2 Hell Priests, who quickly teleport away, pissing their robes. We then learn that a deity figure called the Khan Marx is above these 2 Hell Priests and is basically funding the whole invasion of Earth. So, Doom Guy proceeds to head back to the world of the Slayers where he was trained and visits his King Novak, who is dead. He says that he can't interfere because it's ancient law, and Doom Guy promptly gives him the finger as he walks away with an item to help power his fortress. Doom Guy proceeds to murder the 2nd Hell Priest after a brief hunt, and the Khan Marx responds by hiding the 3rd Priest and accelerating her plans to the completion of the invasion. Doom Guy, unable to go to the Hell Priest, destroys a super gore nest to halt the invasion and realizes that he won't be able to find the final Hell Priest without some help. Enter a dead Dr. Samuel Hayden, the jackass who stole the Crucible and betrayed us in the last game. We hook him up to the fortress, power the fortress back up with the Crucible he stole from us, and realize that the next Hell Priest is at a location that is only accessible through the portal in the core of Mars. Some Doom Guy blows up the whole fucking planet to get there faster with the BFG 10,000. If you've ever wondered what pure fucking Chad energy looks like, it's fucking this. Why fight through hours of combat with demons just to simply get to a portal when you could just blow up a fucking portal? I obviously didn't realize that Doom Guy had access to the fucking Death Star. After some hunting, the priest is removed from the playing field and the Khan Marx decides to kill humanity with the Icon of Sin by summoning it and teleporting it to Earth. Doom Guy promptly smashes her divine pussy into her face and goes back to Earth to kill the Icon of Sin. Then the game promptly ends. Doom has never really been a series about storytelling anyway. If it was important, it was either noted in some sort of note, environmental storytelling, or some lore piece that you picked up along the way. So the fact that Doom Eternal actually focused in on some of this story, it was actually kind of refreshing, and I'll be honest, I was being a bit brief with my synopsis there, but still, nonetheless, it was nice to see a Doom Eternal actual story, whereas 2016's Doom was just like, you're on Mars, the demons are here, please eradicate them with your pestilence, and we can continue on with our lives. But in Doom Eternal, there's some weird shit happening. And it kind of turns out that Doom Eternal really needed a story because, although I really love killing demons, it was quite essential to me to actually have knowledge as to why I need to kill these demons and why I need to kill them very quickly. As I lusted for more information, it became more and more clear what my goal actually was. It wasn't just to beat a bloody meat sack further into more meat chunks. It was to beat that meat chunk into the next meat chunk so I can continue my progress while I also beat the shit out of the next meat chunk. There were even some really good moments, some gems even, if you will, in the story alone, because when you're blowing up the planet, the AI Vega has one of the funniest lines in the whole goddamn game.
Is targeted. Safety mechanism.
Would you like me to disable the safety protocols?
That actually made me laugh. All in all, the game's story is a good driving point to make the game stand out amongst other titles of 2020. Not to mention, that's not the only thing that's standing out. If you could see my fucking dick right now, I'm erect just talking about it. It's time to talk about one of the best parts about this game, the fucking game itself. Take all the essential aspects of a Doom game. Mix in a couple more demons, maybe mix in some new little tricks that you can do, mix in some really awesome environmental clearing, and what do you get? The best fucking Doom I've ever played in my entire fucking life. Let's just start with your weapons of death, shall we? The combat shotgun, super shotgun with retractable foreskin hooks so you can swing from demon to demon with ease.
You pair that up with the rune that slows time down when airborne, it will give you a chance to really savor those moments.
An energy gun, a big energy gun, machine with my favorite micro missiles, Gatling gun with shield, missile launcher, all the classics are back with similar mod upgrades that add significantly to their verticality and how they work best in certain environments. Need to crank a missile at a demon but you have to stay on the move? May I present to you the lock-on feature? A shitload of demons in front of you? Why not try a weapon that cleaves them in half? Tired of demons having blasters that shoot you from longer range? Pop off a shotgun grenade and watch them fly away! Those are just the guns. The fun part is just now happening. Doom Eternal also presents an equipment launcher that you can load with either grenades or freeze grenades, and they have both different reload times until you can fire again. That means I can freeze a demon and then immediately lob a grenade at them to finish them off! You can upgrade these features, of course, with collectible suit tokens as well. Doom Guy also sports a blade in his arm that helps contribute to glory kills and honestly feels satisfying as hell to land. The chainsaw is back and better than ever, spitting out more ammo than before, and if you are completely out of fuel, will generate one fuel cell after a few moments. You will need that too, because running out of ammo happens all too fucking often in the later fights. The game also introduced a flame belt that lights demons on fire and upon taking damage, makes them drop shards of armor that can be used to quickly fill back up your bar on the verge of death. Not even to mention the late game Crucible Blade that will one-hit kill any fucking demon as long as you have it powered. Now, navigating all these features at the beginning of the game might seem kind of daunting because it might interrupt your flow as a Doom player. I know a lot of Doom players are more side-strafey, but these actually indicate better tactics to be used. They might interrupt your flow. You might even forget they're there. You might forget how fast they cool down, but holy shit, they are essential in the final fights, especially with the Flame Belt and the Chainsaw, because the ammo and the armor that you get from killing demons with them is pretty fucking vital to actually having ammo in the final fights, because them bitches, 1, send shitloads at you, and 2, soak bullets like a motherfucker. This all beautifully folds into the game's new take on a battlefield as well, sporting large open areas with multiple levels to them in varying damage states. I don't think I came across a single combat encounter that didn't have an arena with more than a few levels. They added the ability to monkey jump off of yellow pipes, slingshotting you across the environment quickly, and adds a nice escape option if you're low on health. And Doom Guy himself just seems less chunky than usual, sporting more mobility than I was used to in the 2016 version, and you can of course equip a few runes to change your mobility, making glory kills faster, slowing time while in the air, or even just making your air movement more controllable. But the game would be nothing without its demons, right? The main cast is back with a few additions from older variants, like the Pain Elemental, Cyber Demon variants, and even the Archdemon, which that stupid fucking bastard can whack right off a cliff for all I care. But the most impressive and formidable foe is the Marauder. He parries every move you make, has a shotgun if you get too close, summons a hound to hunt you from afar, and is a fucking bastard to beat. I died multiple times to these bastards because they stop you from being able to abide by Doom Guy's one philosophy, which is, I will stomp your kneecaps backwards, get out of my way! That in turn turns into, dude, sorry, I need to stomp your kneecaps backwards. Just let me pass. It doesn't make a lot of sense since a player is supposed to be aggressive by nature and keep moving forward. Fuck, Doom Guy is advertised as a fucking walking traumatic event, so why do I have to yield to these cunts with a shield and a pooch? On a similar note, the tentacle monsters. Fucking why? Does someone at Bethesda have a hentai problem? Why is this in the game? You are ruining my momentum. Getting a free hit in and then disappearing in order to do it again? Fuck off! Don't worry, I only have one more complaint about the enemies and then we can move on. Why did Bethesda deem it necessary to add a find the fucking pickle combat every so often? The buff totems is what I'm talking about. They pretty much hold a fucking combat encounter hostage. They spawn in certain areas and buff all demons and make them keep spawning until it's destroyed. And then, on most of these encounters, hide them behind all the enemies or behind a locked cage that you can only get to if you beat all these buff demons. And when you get to it, you just step on it. If you want to make a fucking combat encounter harder, just spawn more demons. Don't make a bitch boy take off 30 health because of one hit from a lowly piece of shit. But I digress. Collectibles have always been a staple point for the Doom series, whether it's a secret fucking stage level, or if it's some sort of hidden collectible doobobble. I think everybody can appreciate the hard-seeking players who actually found all these collectibles, and although it is far easier to find them in these games than the original games, I think people who find them are still just as good looking and charming. I'm talking to you. There is a rich history in collectibles, and this game is no different, sporting a couple of different types of collections that are visible within the Doom Guy's Fortress, like toys. And to be entirely honest with you, I'd probably buy a couple of these if they started like a pop figure line, but albums of music are also visible from past games. You can find lore, cheat codes that you can activate on replays of maps, and sentinel crystals, and batteries, and tokens that you can use to upgrade your abilities. The amount of health you have, the armor you have, the ammo you can carry, and your suit's abilities. All these fold great together and make the search for these precious items important for survivability, but never poses itself as a necessity. And the majority of upgradable collectibles are either just a few steps off the beaten path, or visible to players through a wall or grate, making them easier to figure out. Eternal also poses a new secret encounter mode on each map that involves killing a group of enemies in a certain amount of time for upgrade points to spend on weapons. They also include the great challenging Slayer gates that you have to find the key to unlock, and then survive in extreme combat. This then grants a key to the Empyrean, an endgame weapon comparable to the BFG, but in my mind the BFG is always the way to go. Now I have been voicing a few gripes about this game here and there, and honestly, that's to be expected with a AAA title. Honestly, if a game's too perfect, I start to question if I'm biased towards it or if my opinion is even valid about the game. Or even if I have ulterior motives, but no one's paying me so I can't have ulterior motives. Anyway, this is just a really long-winded way of saying that I have a couple more gripes I want to mention. I wish they would have used the blade a little less in the glory kills. As cutting a demon 6 ways is always fun, it gets a bit stale when the only kills you get to see are from a blade. My personal favorite is always one of the whiplash where he breaks the arm and shoves the bone in their skull. You just can't replicate that feeling with a blade. Not a bad feature, I just wish there was a few more unique glory kills, that's all. Another gripe is that in order to increase the difficulty of some areas, they take away the player's ability to move like normal. Some of the slime sections in the beginning are problems for me because of this. When you take away the player's speed, he then becomes an easy target for a hot-ass wiping session. My final gripe is this. Some of the platforming in the game doesn't work very well. Mainly the coffins that are climbable surfaces. I had a very hard time getting the game to respond when I clung to them, so I would always fall to my death. Thankfully, they didn't make falling off the map a huge deal, otherwise I would not have enjoyed the platforming sections at all. Now, I'd never send a game off with those fucking gripes that I actually enjoyed, so here's everything that I actually thought was really impressive with Doom Eternal. The fucking immense scale of this game, even from the beginning, this was no skyboxed-in piece of shit. This had fights going on in the background, you could always see what the people of Earth were fighting off, dead robots and mega demons littered across all the landscapes, but the game never let me wonder what was going on in the background due to me being so forced on the combat in front of me. The graphics were amazing, and the environments were even better. Doom Eternal adds a great amount to the world and the experience of Doom. With this new edition of story, it is exciting where they will head next if they decide to make another game. That, on top of the amazing amount of content and damage some of our new tools do. This will make a common player of video games a fan of the Doom franchise for sure. You don't even have to know what happened in the last games in order to understand what's going on now, because there is no story, really, up until this point. Just know that demons are bad and humans are worth saving. I obviously recommend this experience to any Doom player, anybody who is looking for a good FPS, or if you're a casual player and you're looking for something a little bit harder, I think this shooter is for you. If you're a Call of Duty man and you're trying to leap into some better games, Doom Eternal is a good place to start because it will meld what you know with some of the harder aspects of future gaming. And honestly, this game was definitely my pick for 2020 Best of Game. That's why I wanted to start with it for Season 2 in 2021. Why don't I talk about games when they come out? Because I have a life, and I have a school, and I can never get videos out on time, I'm sorry! That obviously does it for me. Thank you so much for watching Doom Eternal's Game Grind Season 2, Episode 1. I really appreciate you guys stopping in. Thank you so much for waiting so long for this series. There will be a new episode of Game Grind every single Wednesday. That is every single Wednesday. And For 12 weeks. I should preface. The new season's 12 episodes. I've got a lot ready. I've got a couple more things I got to do with some of them, but that doesn't matter because Game Grind is here for you, and I am thankful that I finally got it out. Thank you so much for being patient with me. If you guys wish to support my dream, please click subscribe. Please like this video. If you guys have a different take on Doom Eternal, please comment down below. I'm always willing to hear different opinions. And to be honest, some of the things I'm going to say in Season 2 might strike you as odd, and you might hate me for them. Particularly a certain game that came out a couple weeks ago, but that will happen when it happens. I hope you like that video when it comes. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. If you guys would like to see a particular video game being reviewed on Game Grind, post it down below. I'm always open to new things. Thank you so much again for watching. I will see all you know, bros. Later. Peace for now.